Hey guys, what's up? It is Johnny, and well, as you see by the thumbnail, this is a life update. So yeah, as you guys know, because I've mentioned in shorts and everything like that, yesterday I had my SSI SSD hearing. I think it went okay. There we go. As I crack open a Monster. So, for some of you who know, I made three videos. They're going to be coming out soon. This comes out the day I record it, film it, everything like that. So, tomorrow I'm going to start the editing process and uploading of the three videos. Almost, if you will, think about it as like a day in my life kind of idea. A day of my hearing. So, the way it's kind of going is I kind of had to break up the last video. Originally it was just going to be two, but I had to break up the last two videos because of length, because I don't have the money to pay for Canva Pro, to where I can do videos longer than half an hour. I basically had to cut short videos. Not cut short, but editing wise it would be cutting short. So yeah, I had to do that. That's why 3 videos instead of just 2, or even just 1. If I was able to have the Canva Pro, it would probably just be 1 long video. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. So I did that, so watch out for those videos. But the hearing itself, I talk about it in those videos, but the hearing itself went okay. I got to speak and everything like that. A little bit of what I talked about. So even though, yes, this is a life update, you're kind of also getting a little bit of like a mental health kind of update. I did explain to the judge that a big thing with my depression, because it's been worse. Now, mind you, too, I will say this. This is the same judge I had who denied me before. Just very, very biased judge. He threw out what my psychiatrist said, because my psychiatrist at the time was a woman. I was in a partial care program in Jersey City, Mount Carmel Guild, and the judge didn't believe in partial care programs. So what did he do? He threw that out. He even threw out what the person whose job it is to say what I can and cannot do for employment. He threw what he said out. Now, I've mentioned this before. I actually went back. I didn't think I did, but apparently I did. And one of my first couple of videos, yes, I did go to prison. I am an ex-con. And because of that, that's all he could see was my record. And he basically said in his words, because I did get a copy of his ruling the first time around, and basically he was saying that the only hindrance that he sees to me finding work is the fact that I'm an ex-con, that I was in prison, that I have a record. So he, like I said, threw out everything else, and that's all he saw. So what happened? My lawyer at the time, I'm no longer with her, not because of anything bad. She went on medical leave, and I got another lawyer from the firm that I work with, Legal Services of New Jersey. So cheap little plug for them. So I, my new lawyer and everything, we went over a lot of the stuff. We did tell the judge from the last time the judge and I spoke. Now, mind you, both times were over the phone. But from the last time we spoke until currently, I am no longer in that program in Mount Carmel Guild. I was kicked out. Long story short, the team leader at the time, don't know if she still is or isn't, I assume she still is, she kicked me out because, as she put it, I made her feel uncomfortable. She claimed to her superior things that never happened. Even claims I spoke to the security guard at Mount Carmel, who I was really good friends with. And he even said, no, that never happened. One of the things she cited was I was yelling at her over something stupid. Keys to the kitchen, as she put it. Us clients had no access to the keys to the kitchen, first and foremost. I never yelled at any of the staff, first and second of all. And even the security guard said that. He's like, you never did anything like that, John. And he, he even said, if you did, I would have came running, because, I hear a client screaming, especially at staff, and I come running. I never had to come running for you, ever. Mind you, I was in that program for 3 years. Honestly and truthfully, I feel like it's a matter of, because she saw me as someone who I cared about the other people there. I'll probably end up doing a video going over what actually happened. Maybe I'll include that in what I'm lovingly going to start calling Rant Monday, where I'm just going to do videos ranting, and I'm going to post those up, Mondays. So, anyway, back to the whole idea. So, anyway, I'm no longer in that program. So obviously I don't see their psychiatrist anymore or anything like that. I have a new psychiatrist, new therapist. I was in a program for a little bit, but I graduated. So there's that. I did have to bring up too that since the last time the judge and I spoke, my depression went up immensely. And a lot of that right now has to do with, my father passing away. Yes, of course, it's life. I've had family members pass away, but Dad's hit me very hard. And, I live in Newark. I've always said that's his city. And living in Newark just really makes me think about him so much, miss him so much, that, the depression hits harder. So, I brought all that up to the judge. I mentioned the shelter I live in absolutely sucks. And yeah, of course, it's a shelter. It's not supposed to be the Grand Hotel, but there's supposed to be some standards there. Like I said, I know I'm going to get out of there eventually, and when I do, I'm doing a whole kind of expose, if you will, here on YouTube about them. But, that's going to happen when it happens. But so yeah. Now, kind of get off that for a minute and onto some good stuff. So, yesterday as well, I had my group therapy. And if you remember, not that long ago, I literally just made an announcement that they're moving me to twice a month. Well, I got another surprise yesterday. I'm now once a month for this group. I only have to go once a month the first week of the month. Now, of course, I'm still gonna, the other 3 weeks, I'm still gonna go over for like the union meetings and stuff like that. Hang out with the guys before group. But, unfortunately, the group leader started to put some stipulations on me graduating, which I honestly don't like. And it's a matter of, she's saying she wants me to get my SSI. Okay, understandable. But again, that's out of my hands. That's in the judge's hands. The other thing is, she kept insisting that I go to this one place. It's an adult daycare. Because a couple of the other guys go there. And she wants me to specifically go to the one in Elizabeth. I'm trying to explain to her. I went to the one in Newark. My insurance won't pay for me to go there. My caseworker there tried. My case manager there tried. We went through insurance and everything. Insurance will not pay for me to be there. Matter of fact, my caseworker, whatever you want to call her, even straight out said, with the insurance that I have, with the HMO I have, it's a matter of the only way that they would pay for me to go is if I was so desolate that I couldn't even feed myself. So yeah, obviously my insurance won't pay for it, so how can I go? Second of all, I live in Newark. The Elizabeth one will not let me go. Because of the fact I live in Newark. I would have to live in Union County, more so Elizabeth, for me to go. It won't work. And she's not understanding that. And she's trying to say, because she wants me to go there and interact with people and stuff like that. I'm sitting there saying, I do interact with people. I even said this to my therapist, and she even understands. I'm like, because I go to the Elizabeth Library practically every day, except really Wednesdays, because Wednesdays I come here to Mom and I film. So I'm trying to explain to her that, I go to the library Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. And it's not like I'm sitting there at the library twiddling my thumbs, doing nothing. Literally, while I'm at the library, I'm planning stuff. So I'll kind of give you guys a little bit of an insight into how this channel works on here. So, obviously, like I said, we'll start with Wednesdays, recording days. Or no, you know what? We'll start with Monday. We'll start with the beginning of the week. So, Mondays and Tuesdays are, in a sense, think of them as my research days. So we'll start with Monday. Monday is the day I plan my videos. I'll think about the videos that I want to do for that upcoming Wednesday that I'm going to record that Wednesday. Now, I do take into consideration certain things, because there's 2 channels that I do. There's this one, and there's my Baseball Lover 1984 channel. So I'll plan the videos that I'm going to record for these 2 channels. I'll figure out. Now, of course, I always do my certain things, like karaoke is a mainstay. I always record a karaoke on Wednesday. So I plan the 4 songs that I'm going to sing. Matter of fact, on my Baseball Lover channel, because a lot of this stuff I have saved on that one, because that's my main channel I watch stuff on and everything. I literally have a playlist that's private that I call a concert, and that has all the karaoke's that I'm going to do. So, I plan the karaokes. I mean, I even have in my email, I have a specific section that I call video notes. And in that, I literally have all the karaokes planned for a couple of months, actually, since I do 4 a month. But also, like, some of the special ones, when I'm going to record them, when I'm going to upload them, etc. So, there's that. So, Monday is a planning day, in a sense. Now, Tuesdays, what I do is that's almost like my research days. So for certain videos, such as, more so for my Baseball Lover channel, if I'm talking specifically about certain players or something like that, I will do research on stats. I will do research on anything like that. And I will make notes in Word. I'll type up certain things in Word. Sometimes if I have the money, I will print them out, so I have the physical copy. Other times I will put them in an email, and I will email them to myself. So this way I can just pull them up on my phone or here on my laptop and, go through them that way to go over stats, etc. Sometimes, as of like this week, I really didn't have a chance to do anything because Monday was a holiday. Library was closed. Yesterday, I really didn't get to do anything because I had my hearing in the morning, so I wasn't at the library. So even though, yes, today I will be recording some stuff for Baseball Lover, it's going to be a little differently for me. I'm going to have to actually go to websites and pull stuff up. No problem, though. So, but anyway, Tuesdays are normally my research day. I'll do the research, everything like that, get that all set. Now that'll bring us to Wednesday. Wednesday is my recording day. I'll figure out stuff, like, obviously, again, something like this. It's a life update or a mental health update. I'll record those, and I will put those out and edit those that day. That's why this is going out today. So, but then it's like the other stuff. I'll record, and I'll put into Canva, and then on Thursdays, I'll edit. So, again, kind of go back to Wednesday. Wednesdays, there's times I could do up to 20 videos. I can record up to 20 videos a day on a Wednesday and upload them to Canva. So now, yes, like I said, so now we're back to Thursday. Thursdays, I'll go in. I'll edit any of the videos that are gonna be stuff like that. Some of them I will put up right away after I edit, like karaoke. Karaoke's, if you notice, I normally put up on Thursdays to begin with. So Thursdays will be a specific, like, I'll edit on Thursday, I'll download it onto the computer, and I'll upload it right to YouTube that day. I may not have it come out the exact time frame that I upload it, but I'll have it go up. Other stuff I'll just edit and I'll have set. So then that'll bring us to Friday. Fridays are kind of like an upload day. So a lot of the videos, like I said, since I edit on Thursdays, a lot of the videos I will post in advance. Especially if it's like the weekends or stuff like that. If it's going to go out on a weekend or something, I will upload it early. For those of you who know, who upload onto YouTube, you have the option to not upload that day, but you can actually pick a day and a time for it to go up and become live, and it'll just be hidden to the public until then. certain things, like you'll notice, because again, tomorrow I am editing the 3 videos for my hearing day yesterday. You'll notice those are going to be premieres. I normally don't do premieres much. I used to in the past, but now I normally don't. I'll just keep them hidden from everybody until it's time to upload. Perfect example. I did for Juggalo Weekend, Juggalo Karaoke. I still have to kind of add one more song to one of them and do a new intro, but you'll notice that one I have, and it's set. If you go into the karaoke playlist here on my channel, you'll see it says 7 videos, but you only see 6. And that's because one of them is the Juggalo Karaoke, but it's hidden until its release date and time. Then it'll go live in the playlist, and it'll go live on my channel. Excuse me. But so, she's not understanding. My group leader isn't understanding that, I do this. And I wish there was a way I could get her to understand it, because this is how I am. This is what I do. I put a lot of work and effort into both of these YouTube channels. Because this is what I like to do. This is what I like to do and have fun. But what can I say? So anyway, before I sign off, a couple of different things you guys can look out for on this channel. So I already talked about this a little bit earlier. Monday rants, Rant Monday, whatever. I'm going to create a playlist for it. And kind of like as it sounds, it's just going to be me ranting on numerous different issues. Some personal stuff, like the first 3 or 4 videos I'm going to do are more personal. One of which is, for those of you who know, I use MotiveCare, which is a ride company. I'll explain everything when I do that video, but how some of the companies that have contracts with MotiveCare act. I'm a huge wrestling fan, and I'm a juggalo. I love JCW, Juggalo Championship Wrestling, and recently they've done a lot of stuff with Vince Russo. I am not a Vince Russo fan, and I put up some stuff on Facebook in a JCW group, and I get a lot of stuff for it. So I'm going to kind of talk about some of that stuff and rant about it. Third video is going to be kind of about a former friend of mine. Not the one you're thinking about, who I've mentioned on this channel before in my 2025 year in review. No, this is a different friend from years ago. I haven't been friends with this person in years, and it goes back to when I was engaged. But yeah, no, for some reason I was thinking about refriending her. I went through and I found a lot of stuff that she was putting out there, and it kind of triggered me in a sense. So I kind of just want to put a lot of the stuff to bed. Put it out there. If she sees it, she sees it. If she doesn't, she doesn't. But anyway, so yeah, again too, whenever I get the chance, cook with me. I'm going to be doing more of those videos. And yeah, we're just going to have a lot more fun. But yeah, so that's it for this video, for this life update. As always, I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope this kind of gives you a little insight into me when I just get to talk about life, But anyway, so that's it for this video. I will catch you guys later. Peace and love.